Good evening. I hope you can hear me. How do I remove this flag from my face? Honestly, very interesting. Can you hear me? We're about to go live on two different platforms. We're live on YouTube and we're also live here on TikTok. So if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up, just like uh, and I'll be able to know that at least you can hear me. I'm being coherent. I'm going to also be sharing slides. So if you can hear me, if you can't put a thumbs up, you don't know how to do that, feel free to just comment, I can hear you. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. So I've got a thumbs up on TikTok live. Can you hear me on YouTube? Okay. So I've got a like on YouTube. Okay, so that means you can hear me perfect. Let's give it until exactly 7:33, which is a few more moments, and then we start the presentation. Oh, it's recorded, it's there on YouTube. You can always watch it with the accompanying slides in the background. So you're not missing out on anything if you join late. Simply go to SNCT Talks and you'll be able to continue from there. Okay. So it's 7:33 and we are off. So today's topic is you found your 100 prospects. Now what? We're asking the question, now what? Last week, we went through the entire process of generating your first 100 prospect. We came up with a model where you would get 25 prospects as referrals, 25 prospects from your contact list, 25 prospects from social media, etc. So it would total to 100 prospects. Your homework for the week was to get your 100 prospects and put them down somewhere. Okay. We want to keep it simple. We want activities that will actually generate you a revenue. Okay. So we want to improve your revenue through lessons you can implement immediately and actually start seeing results. So the first thing is, how do we get prospects? Because we've discussed so many other topics. We've discussed how to start sales conversations, asking questions, when to start selling, ABC, handling objections, lead generation, closing techniques. We've discussed 80-20 rule. All of these videos are there on YouTube. So how it works is every week, Wednesday, 7:30 to 8 p.m. We're live. We're going through a practical lesson that you can implement immediately and start seeing results. And this is where we are. Today we are on, now that you've generated the 100 prospects, what do we do next? So who is this session for? The 30-minute sales gym is specifically structured to work for business owners. So you're a business owner, you want to establish a business, this session is for you. Uh, Anyone who wants to improve their business's revenue, come in, take a listen and implement. This is for business leaders, managers, executives. Generally, if you run a team and you want to see results from your team, this is for you. It also does It's also structured for the individual sales rep. So if you're a sales rep and you're looking to improve your revenue, this session is definitely for you, because we're going to be looking at different things you can do. We're looking at from an organizational level, a management level, and up to an execution level, which is you, the sales rep. So, are any of these you? You invest in leads, but you're not getting across the finish line. We ask these questions every week. If this is you, give me a thumbs up, comment, yep, this is me. I'm number one, I'm number two, number three, or number four. You attend events to network, but it doesn't lead to revenue. If you attend events, but there's no revenue coming out from it, you're number two. Comment number two. Your revenue is inconsistent, though your costs are growing. That's number three. Number four, people enter your store or your business. They make an initial purchase, but they never come back for more. If that is you, please give me either a thumbs up or comment your number. So by the end of the session, you should be able to store your prospects in a simple database. So what we're doing today is we're structuring the next steps from when you've generated the leads up to when the conversation starts. So you should be able to store your prospects in a simple database, organize your prospects using tags and different methods of organizing them, build a simple follow up process. So that is something we want you to be able to do. We need you to automate your follow-up process, track where each prospect is in the sales journey. It is important for us to do that, and stop relying on memory, notebooks, and WhatsApp chats. Stop relying on scattered information. How do we get your information in a centralized database where it's organized, where your prospects are filtered based on their warmth? Uh, and how do we track each prospect through the funnel? So, how many prospects have you lost? This is another question I'm asking you. Feel free to answer where you can. Have you ever met a potential customer and forgotten to follow up? So, you meet someone randomly, you have the conversation, they are looking for what you're selling, but you've forgotten to actually take the initiative of calling them the next day and scheduling a follow up conversation. Or have you ever said, I'll call them tomorrow, and then you never did? You remembered 3 days, a week later, that you had to call somebody back. Have you ever searched WhatsApp for a contact you knew was interested? So you're in WhatsApp, you're looking for that prospect. I mean, if that's you, fair and fine. This session is specifically for you, because what we want to do is we want to systemize your sales process so that you can get more consistent results. And some of the systemization requires us to implement automation. We have to get in there and automate some of the tasks, or as much of the task as we can, so that we can focus on the areas where we would have the most value. Uh, if you answered yes to any of these questions, then you don't have a sales problem. You have a sales system problem, and that's what we're discussing. Now, most prospects do not buy immediately. Typical buying timeline. If you're looking at the slides, we're looking at 2% buy today. So you start a conversation with someone and then immediately they buy on the spot. 10% buy within 30 days. Uh, Standard, you have to follow up. So 10% will have a decision making process on their side, and it will take them time. 30% will probably buy within the first 90 days. However, many buy after multiple follow ups. So if the idea is only 2% will buy upon the first conversation, and about 40% will have bought by the end of 90 days. The question we have to answer as sales reps, as business owners, as leaders in the organizations we serve is, are we putting in place the processes? Do our implementers understand the steps to take in order to follow up for those 90 days without being pushy, which is another topic we covered in an earlier 30-day session. how to avoid that mindset issue of I'm being too pushy. The biggest sales mistake in this stage is most people manage prospects like this. You save a contact in your phone, uh, or you write your notes in a physical notebook. If that is you, wow, wow. You're writing your notes in a physical notebook. You've got most of your information in WhatsApp chats. Uh, so you're having a lot of conversations, a lot of referrals back and forth. It's through WhatsApp. Then you've got a challenge. These are part of the biggest mistakes you're making. You've got random spreadsheets. I've never been a fan of spreadsheets as a CRM, but a lot of organizations are still in that phase where they're using spreadsheets. Uh, Challenge with spreadsheets is they can, if not well maintained and well uh, structured, they can become overwhelming. So you've got random spreadsheets, and then you're doing a lot of it because spreadsheets again require you to go into the spreadsheet, know what you're looking for, run a few filters here and there, and then get the prospect you need, meaning you're using a lot of memory. And one thing I can tell you, as you grow older, memory is not that reliable. You are going to be forgetting a lot. So, with that being said, the result is you forget your prospects. Simple, straightforward. You're going to forget a lot of prospects. So, I'm just changing my mic. Looks like it's flashing. Let's go in, put on the second one. So, you're going to forget a lot of your prospects. Please confirm if you can hear me again, especially on TikTok. I've changed the mic, so I want to make sure you can actually hear me. Just give me a like if you can hear me. So let's design what we call a simple sales pipeline. Okay, let me try and paint the picture for you of what is a simple sales pipeline. So a simple sales pipeline, you've got your prospect, new lead. So a new lead, someone you've identified but not contacted yet. In the previous session, we defined that as a prospect. Then we go into you've contacted. So from new lead, they go into the next stage, which is contacted. You've made the first contact. It could be a message, it could be a call, an email, it could be LinkedIn, it could be any form of contact. Then they've shown that they're interested in what you have to offer. Uh, so they responded positively. Listen, yeah, we're interested in meeting, we're interested in discussing this further. Then it goes into sending a proposal of some sort because they usually will ask you to send more information. From there, you've sent your proposal, the pricing information, etc. You've done your demo. You go into negotiation, which is objections, answering questions, and further discussion. So you go into negotiation. After negotiation, assume you've closed the deal, so you've won the deal. That means the customer has bought. Let's define closed deal as money is put on the table. Let's leave interest. Interest is not a deal closed. Then the other option is you've lost the deal, which means they've not bought from you, they're not interested, you've not actually identified their problem, etc. So now we go into, now that we have a picture of the pipeline, okay, let's go into tags. What are tags? Tags allow you to organize your prospects. So a lot of platforms you're going to be using are going to be talking about tags. For example, you could have tags based on the industry, you could have tags based on the product interest, you can have tags based on their position. Are they hot, warm, cold? You could have different types of tags for different scenarios within your system. Even if it's an Excel sheet, you're going to have columns with the different tags being the headlines and maybe drop downs, right? So that is your tagging. It is literally what you're going to be using to filter your prospects. So now that you've understood what tags are, we're going to go into building a follow up sequence. Remember, we've said in the first 10 30 days you're going to get about 10% close rate, right? So if that's the case, and the sad thing is the majority of sales reps are stopping at the first conversation, first contact, right? uh, you're stopping at the first contact, your follow-up procedure sucks. So what do the top 1% do? They build systems. Whether it's you as an individual sales rep or as an organization that is a top 1% organization, you're going to implement systems. Now, one of the funny things I've realized is in Uganda, where I am currently, majority of businesses do not have a follow-up process. It's either you're having a conversation on phone or there's no conversation. And a lot of sales reps that have approached me always stop at the beginning. They don't actually go to follow up with me to see me through the pipeline. So now, if the organization doesn't have a process per se, that means you're not driving me from the position in the funnel where I'm cold to warm to hot. You expect the sales rep to do that entire thing. And there's a flaw in that thinking. Now, let's say as an organization, we're going to put into place a process of driving a sale lead from cold to warm to hot. And this is how we're going to be doing it. And this is an example. Of course, you will use tools at your disposal. However, as SNCT Marketing, we do have SMS in place, we do have email automation in place. So, of course, if you're interested, you could always reach out. Just type share more, and we will let you know more about our tools. So, professionals build systems. Number one, day one, introduction email. Okay, send an introduction email. Okay, even if you've had a call, always send an introduction email. If you've worked with me, you know I take follow-up processes seriously. I always want to implement a follow-up automation process. So let's say you've sent the first introduction email. Day three, skip a day, skip day two, go into day three, follow up by SMS. Send a follow up on SMS. I've sent you some information via email. I hope you received it. Send something. Keep in touch. Okay, you need to have as many touch points as humanly possible in order for you to drive me from cold to hot. So, day seven, skip a few more days, send a value email. So now here you're breaking down the value your organization, your product, your service has or will provide the prospect. Day 14, as you can see, the gaps are getting wider. On day 14, we're looking at a case study. How did somebody else benefit from your service? Day 21, we're going to go into a phone call. Again, if you're on YouTube, this is the perfect time to take a screenshot. This is a typical follow-up sequence. So you can take a screenshot so that you have it with you and then modify this as you go. So phone call, day 30, we're going into a special offer. Okay, so day 30, we're going to send out a special offer. It could be a free trial, it could be a 50% discount for the first month, it could be different offers, it could be a combination of tools for the price of one. I think you get the gist. So Day 30, we're going into a special offer. That is a 30-day sequence of follow up. Then continue the touch points, continue sharing value, continue letting them know about your business and your service, rinse and repeat for the 90 days. Meanwhile, remember we've said the automation does some heavy lifting. However, you still have to come in as the individual sales rep and you still have to make the call to your hot lead. So the second you forget that part, you're now being lazy, and I would suggest you don't. Don't leave things to chance. So, social media. Now, social media to generate leads and then to do your follow ups. Here's what we're going to do, we're going to be discussing uh, different tools, including Postly on your lead generation, your lead collection engine. So, turn social media into a prospecting tool. Firstly, we're going to look for prospects. You remember in the 100 prospect search, you're going to need 25 prospects that are from social media. You're going to search LinkedIn, you're going to search Facebook groups, X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Uh, don't just scroll social media, use them for business as well. Similar to what I'm doing here, I'm seated here. Yeah, I do doom scroll TikTok. However, today we're using TikTok to share, to pass on knowledge. So once you've used those platforms to generate your initial prospects list, we're going to now implement a bit of automation. You have two options. Option number one, do you have a website? If you have a website for your business, perfect. We're going to integrate your automation tool, which is either your CRM, your email marketing, your SMS automation tool into your CRM. If you don't, and then into your website. And then from the website, people will be able to go in and uh, actually fill in a form, which means they've opted into your initial offer. So you're going to be using a lot of platforms to do this. Actually, there are a lot of platforms you can use. However, ideally pick one, pick a single platform and specialize in that, and then spill into the other platforms. It's easier that way. You are not burdening yourself. Remember, at the end of the day, your job is to have conversations, not to scroll the internet. So what is it that you as a human being can do to actually bring in more business? Now, part of the automation is we're going to put in place social media, drive from social media to your website if you have one. If you don't, again, this is something simple. We can get you a simple landing page. You could do this using AI these days. It will walk you through the entire process. It's very simple to do. Get people onto your offer page, let them opt in. This is how we start the automation process. Then once we've driven them from social media to our offer page to our and they've opted in, we know that they are from cold social media. They've come in, they're starting to get warm already. Once they've opted in, they now start receiving the sequence of follow-ups. Ideally, if we are doing it this way, let them get the first contact within seconds of reaching the page. Challenge we have these days is people's concentration levels are low. So we want to always get people at the right time, and the right time is always right now. So, why automation matters? Without automation, you forget. You get busy, follow ups become inconsistent. With automation, every prospect, every single one of them gets contacted several times, not just once. Nobody falls through the cracks because automation will make sure they're contacted. And then more opportunities turn into actual sales. So, what does the follow up sequence help you to do? The sequence we've already discussed, which is the 30-day sequence. Most prospects are cold. They have little or no knowledge regarding your product and service. Remember, they are starting off cold. Now we want them to become warm, and then we want them to become hot. So they are not convinced that you can solve their problem. They also want to look around and see who else is in the market. That means out of sight, out of mind. Once they start looking elsewhere, uh, you're no longer top of mind. So your follow up sequence keeps you within reach of them. Your follow up sequence should help you educate. Okay, so in your content, you're educating them, which is the value. Uh, Keep you top of mind without being pushy, and then warm the lead up. Let the sequence work. Remember, patience is a virtue. While the sequence warms them up for you to close, make sure you are prepared for the close. Okay, this is the conversation we're having now. This is negotiation. This is having the processes in place for actually closing a deal, contracts, etc. Make a call during the sequence to get a second meeting. Don't forget to always call, reach out to your prospect from time to time. The sequence can keep running in the background. However, you should always have your physical sequence of events, meetings, follow-up calls, planned and scheduled sort of follow-ups that you're doing in the real physical world. And then include several calls to action in your follow up sequence. There should be calls to action. Sometimes a person isn't buying from you not because they don't want what you have to sell, but just because you haven't asked them to buy it yet. Okay, so that is it. Action steps. So, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to postly.snctmarketing.com. Create a free, it's absolutely free. Create a free account and start playing around with the platform. It's again free. The only part where you end up having to pay an amount is when you start sending emails. Uh, Add your 100 prospects and start building your database from there. So add your prospects into the system, create your email sequence, play around with it, start getting familiar. So again, the link is postly.snctmarketing.com. Uh, this is your homework for the week. I want you to understand different areas within the system, and you're only going to do that when you actually implement or you start using it. So that is our homework for the week. Then what next? So as SNCT Marketing, we do have a channel on WhatsApp, a platform on WhatsApp where we can add you. If you're interested in joining the WhatsApp group, there you'll be getting updates every time we're about to go live on the 30-minute sales gym. You'll also be able to get more information regarding the live events we're about to start doing and also the offers we have as an organization. I would want you to go, feel free, ask to join. We will share the link with you directly, and then we will admit you to the group. Uh, Also, we do the 30-minute sales gym every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. We end at 8 p.m., which is right now. So feel free, put it in your calendar, put it in your schedule, subscribe uh, to us on YouTube, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, and you will always be notified when I am live. So that's also something you can do. Then we can keep in touch. We can always keep in touch from the social media handles that we have. Uh, Otherwise, if you have any comment, you have something you needed, uh, you have a question, something you needed clarity on, please feel free to ask your question and I will answer them. I think I'll open up the floor for let's say 2 minutes for somebody to ask. If there are no questions, then we can go offline. So again, the link for your homework today is postly, postly dot snctmarketing.com. Okay, it's exactly 2 minutes past 8. If there are no questions in the comment section, I think I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much for joining another session of the 30-minute sales gym. I hope it was fruitful. I hope you do implement what we've discussed. Uh, I look forward to seeing your progress. Have a great, lovely, and productive week ahead. Cheers.